Nintendo just revealed that they're not only ensuring people are actually going to be able to buy the SNES Classic Edition and that people should stop paying more than retail price for one online, but that they also plan to re-release the original NES Classic Edition in the summer of 2018. I kinda figured Nintendo would learn from their mistakes last year and have way more SNES Classics ready for this year, so the real story here is that the NES Classic Edition's officially returning. And while this is great news, I do have one thing to say to Nintendo in regards to resupplying NES Classics.
Well, why didn't you tell me?
If Nintendo just decided within the past week or two to go through with manufacturing more NES Classics, then fine. But if they knew all along that they'd do this, then why'd they let scalpers run wild all year before putting a stop to it? In my opinion, Nintendo's given way too much time to scalpers for them to be able to clear their stockpiles of NES Classics out. Wouldn't it have been funny to see scalpers stuck with all this shit? Hopefully now people will stop paying ridiculous prices for original NES Classics and let that whole market die. And Reggie-san's been urging for weeks that nobody pay more than retail price for the SNES Classic, so I'll give Nintendo credit for nipping that as close to the bud as possible. But scalpers still had plenty of time to run wild with this, and even GameStop had enough time to get away with scalping SNES Classics in the worst way possible. I've said before that I don't really blame scalpers for doing what they're doing since it's an easy profit and it's Nintendo's responsibility to make more Classic Editions and that people need to stop paying these ridiculous prices for it. But then again, if these people didn't pay that much for the overpriced Classic Editions in the first place, Nintendo probably wouldn't have brought them back at all. So maybe these dumb/rich motherfuckers are the reason we're even getting a second run of these. But then again, if nobody paid outrageous prices for the secondhand classics, then they'd at least be cheaper on eBay. So whether or not people bought scalped consoles for ridiculous prices, we'd still be able to get one at a reasonable price today regardless. I just don't know why it took Nintendo so long to decide to pull the trigger on remanufacturing the NES Classic though. And if they knew ahead of time that they'd do it, then why wait so long to announce it and let people keep wasting money that could have been spent on other products? If people are willing to spend more than $100 on your product through a scalper, then that's potential money you're leaving on the table. By leaving money on the table, I don't mean that N-Dog should sell Classic Editions for that much money, but the $100+ that were blown could have been spent on other Nintendo products. The people willing to spend whatever it takes to get a Classic Edition are clearly more often than not hardcore Nintendo fans. So if these people had an extra $100 to spare, then that's money that could have potentially been spent on other games, amiibos, or whatever else. I'm sure a few of these people don't give a shit to buy anything else from Nintendo. In fact, they might have used that extra money to buy an Xbox game. But it's still potential money N-Dog's been missing out on. Not to mention the money Nintendo lost on bootleg consoles being sold that are actually pretty close to the original. Personally, I'm excited to be able to get both Classic Editions and hopefully whatever other classic consoles they make afterwards, even though I already have most of the games that they offer. I know my fat ass wasn't gonna pay more than maybe $20 over retail to be able to get these. Even if I stumbled across one at retail, it's not like I'd keep it. I mean, why would I not sell it online? Look, I want these Classic Editions, but if I didn't sell it for, let's say, $200, then I'd be leaving $120 on the table. I'd never be a big enough dick to go out of my way to buy them in bulk. In fact, I don't even think that's a smart business move in case Nintendo ended up fixing the problem, which is exactly what happened. But before Nintendo announced that there'd be enough to go around, seeing a Classic Edition at Circuit City and not selling it would be like finding a $100 bill on the ground and leaving it there because you don't want to upset somebody online, even though Nintendo's really at fault for creating the scalper market in the first place. My point is that not selling one that I came across would almost be as bad as paying triple the price. Thankfully though, I can just buy one and enjoy it without feeling like I'm wasting the money that could've went towards my dad's college fund. Even though they're more of a novelty than anything else, I will actually play these now that I'll actually easily be able to obtain them. And I'm glad that Nintendo's slowly but surely getting with the times and killing the scalping market. Now, if only the Switch could just catch up to the PSN and Xbox Live with online gaming, then Nintendo would have their shit together. Anyway, let me know in the comments below whether or not you think Nintendo should have told us sooner that they'd be fixing this problem. And I'll pin whatever comment's the most enjoyable, regardless of whether or not it's relevant to the video. And just because something else is already pinned doesn't mean it can't be topped. Don't forget to like this video, and since you're a sexy beast, I know you'll subscribe, so I don't even have to tell you to do it. And if you're already subscribed, then you're a double sexy beast. Anyway, my name's Cameron, and I'm 12 years old.
So I want to say thank you to your loyalty, thank you for your support.